Welcome to the latest edition of PacWest Magazine right here on OC16. We're going to start off today's show with a spotlight on one of the great people of the PacWest. The California Baptist men's basketball team entered unfamiliar territory for their first PacWest Conference battle at HPU. With coach Tim Collins at 599 career victories, the Lancers would need to overcome a spirited and raucous Blaisdell arena to help their head man get to number 600. Just 10 days earlier, the Sea Warriors charged into Riverside and took down CBU in come-from-behind fashion. So it would be no easy task for Cal Baptist to pick up the win in the Islands, especially with a home team on its game. Here's Glenn Miller with 2 of his 11 points of the night. But the Lancers had some sweet shooting of their own, finding Alexander Milovic in the corner for a big 3. And that's about the time the Andrew Fisk show began. The junior forward's quick thinking knocked the ball out of Jelani White's hands before taking it to the other end for 2 points and 1, with an astonished White attempting to hold down the 6'5" Fisk on the way up. But the hometown Riverside product wasn't done yet. Working with teammate Justice Von Wright, Fisk leaped sky high and jammed home the alley-oop over HPU's 6'9" center, making one of the prettiest plays you'll see this year in the PacWest. But Marko Kukic would not be deterred. Dominating inside all night, he gets his own miss for an easy putback, getting the wheels turning for the Sea Warriors. Senior Nick Frazier would then get a steal of his own and finish with 2 of his team-high 16 points. And Frazier would get more help in the post from the 6'9" Serbian Kukic, collecting one of his 5 boards and finishing with a jump hook. A Sean Jones jumper from the top of the key would keep the Sea Warriors in front, holding a slim 4-point lead going into the intermission. The second half began with much of the same. Marko Kukic finishing with a quick touch pass from teammate Kyle Allen, with the stunned visitors wondering if they'd have to wait a few more nights to get coached at number 600. But CBU would respond, the swift-footed sophomore Ivan Patterson snatching the ball on one end and finishing it with a layup at the other. And just minutes later, it would be Patterson again with a dazzling baseline drive and reverse layup, closing the gap on the home team. The Lancers got more aggressive down low as well. Here, the much smaller Von Wright fights for a rebound and put back with HBU's big towering over him. But HBU's senior leader Frazier would not let his team's lead falter, knocking down this jumper off a curl, inducing Coach Collins to use a timeout.
I just tried to come out, play my mid-range game, get the team going off the bench, see what I could do, and I'm successful. Our coach, he has a 4-out, 1-in system. I mean, whoever has the ball, try to penetrate, find teammates, and they were finding me tonight.
Coming out of the huddle, the ball was once again in the hands of Von Wright, who got the friendly roll off the 3-pointer. And that's when the game's pace kicked up a notch, with the minutes running down late in the second. On one end, you had the big man running the court, Kukic, hustling down 2 more of his 9 points in the night. But it was CBU's own big man, Luke Evans, answering the bell when it looked like his team would be out, tying the game with the drive and 1. The 6'8" center, one of the top scorers in the PacWest, finished with a game-high 20 points to go along with his 6 rebounds. But it would be Frazier at the other end, putting his team up by 2 more before a couple of Fisk free throws set the stage for a tie game with just seconds remaining. And here it was, HPU playing solid D, but when Connor Isley found his teammate Fisk in the corner, the junior made a strong move to the basket to knock one off the backboard. But it wasn't until the final heave from Frazier, which would just bounce out, that the Lancers could celebrate this huge win on the road. And one made even more special as Tim Collins notched number 600 in his long and storied career.
I mean, some guys take good jobs, really good jobs, and they're able to go in and follow somebody that's got a great program. I've taken jobs a lot of times where they weren't very good and we had to build them. It takes a little bit longer, I think, to get a ton of wins. But even, man, to get to 600, it means you stayed in it a long time. And I'm really thankful. I've had really good kids. We try to recruit the right guy that will listen. And when they listen, you can teach guys that listen. It's hard to teach somebody if they're just bullheaded. So we try to track the right guy that'll pay attention. And if that happens, like Bobby Knight used to say, if you can make them do what you want them to do, you're going to win more than you lose. And that's worked out for us. But we want to share it real well. And I'm just grateful. I'm thankful I've been able to stay out this long. A lot of guys would like to coach a long time. I've been able to do it like 34 years, and some people make it about 10 years and then they make a big mistake, and they either cheat or something happens, they get out of the game, or they can't win enough. So I'm really thankful we've been able to win. I have a lot to be thankful to God for this.
Very proud of him and proud of our team. I told the team in the locker room that 600 of anything is a lot, but 600 wins on a basketball career is tremendous. There's not a lot of people that can do that or say that. So congrats to him, and I'm just very proud of him. Glad he's in our program.
We've got a really good family. It's really supportive. We've got a great wife that supports me. There's no doubt about that. We've been married almost 40 years, and you got to have the right wife. You got to have the right kids, and they all got to understand what Dad does, and they all have to have a piece of that. They got to be involved with the team, and for years it's always been a family deal. I think maybe for me, I got to keep staying in shape. Got to run and jog and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how much longer I can do it. Some guys have 800, 900 wins, but some of them have been in great programs for a long time. Cal Baptist, it took us a while to even get our program up. They weren't very good for years, so we're really thankful to get this one going, and we'll take it. But let's keep it going a little bit here. Maybe we can get a few more.
A man of faith, Collins was led by a greater power through the small college and junior college ranks before arriving in the Inland Empire at Cal Baptist nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it is a special school, and because it's faith-based, it's special to me. I feel like God's in control of my life too, and He's allowed a lot of good things to happen. I'm thankful.
Well, he fits the mission of our school. There's no doubt about that. He cares not only about winning, but he wants to see his players grow academically and also spiritually. We went in the locker room and we prayed and thanked God for that before we even gave Tim any glory about anything. So yeah, he's just a good fit for our school.
Collins 600 is sure to be remembered by Andrew Fisk, whose big shot in the closing seconds secured his team's victory.
Honestly, it wasn't anything going through my head at the moment. All I can remember is driving the baseline and throwing it at the rim. But honestly, I thank God for making that shot. There's no way I could have done it without him.
Congratulations to Coach Tim Collins on career victory number 600. Another proud moment this basketball season for Cal Baptist University and the PacWest.
The PacWest. From Hawaii and California to Utah and Arizona, it's the most beautiful destination conference in the entire NCAA. 10 outstanding schools: Academy of Art, BYU Hawaii, Cal Baptist, Chaminade, Dixie State, Dominican, Grand Canyon, Hawai'i Pacific, Notre Dame de Namur, and the University of Hawaii at Hilo. The home of champions and outstanding student athletes, the PacWest. Welcome back to PacWest Magazine. The Bay Area is home to 3 PacWest schools: Academy of Art University, Notre Dame de Namur, and Dominican. We're going to go to downtown San Francisco now and check in on the urban nights of ArtU. One of the more remarkable stories to come out of the San Francisco Bay Area this year comes from Academy of Art University. In just their 3rd year of NCAA Division II competition and in just their 4th season of putting a team out on the court, the Academy of Art Urban Knights women's basketball team has been the talk of the PacWest this winter. With conference victories over perennial PacWest winning programs like Hawai'i Pacific, Dixie State, and Grand Canyon, the girls from ArtU have moved into contention for the conference crown.
I feel very fortunate to have a team like we've had this year. I think they're a great group of girls. They're extremely coachable. They played really hard. We obviously exceeded everyone's expectations. and that speaks volumes for the work that they put in the preseason. You know, and throughout the season, I think they get along really well off the court, and that transfers to their chemistry on the court. And so I feel really blessed as a coach to be able to coach this group of girls.
First-year head coach Lene Larson is a former head assistant from conference rival Dixie State. And in her first season at the academy, she has done something that few PacWest mainland teams have been able to accomplish. That is leading her team to 4 straight wins in Hawaii, including this 64-43 triumph over Chaminade. The Urban Knights have also won on the road in other PacWest locales, which is really saying something for such a young team. Led by a balanced scoring effort from its starters and players off the bench, Academy of Art has built up an impressive winning resume this year. It's been an amazing run for sure.
V's great. She's got the biggest smile, and that's kind of the way she plays basketball. You know, she's a freshman, and she plays with a lot of confidence for us. She comes off the bench and gives us a good spark, and you know, she shoots the ball with confidence and is a great defender. She's definitely, you know, from start to now has definitely improved a lot.
Well, I've been playing since I was little, so it's always been a passion to just play and just have fun, mainly because when I have fun, then everybody's having fun together and doing well. I was starting off a little slow, and then I started gaining my confidence as the game was kept going. And I just started being cool. My teammates helped me out a lot, definitely, to make sure I was relaxed every game. So that kind of helped a lot.
Devin and Lorraine are my 2 senior guards. They're both returners, and you know they play a huge role, like not only on the court but also just in a leadership standpoint. You know, they're great leaders on and off the court, and they play hard every single game. They bring me a lot of energy and effort.
Congratulations to a real success story in the PacWest this season, the Academy of Art women's basketball team. The PacWest stretches from Hawaii to California to Arizona and Utah. Let's check out highlights now on PacWest Magazine. When it comes to winning traditions, few teams have a prouder and longer tradition of success than the Grand Canyon University women's basketball team. The Antelopes of head coach Trent May have won 4 of the first 5 PacWest women's basketball titles, and a year ago, they went all the way to the regional championship game in a storybook season that also featured national scoring champ and national player of the year, Samantha Murphy. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Antelopes, but in true Trent May fashion, the Lopes didn't rebuild, they just continued to carry on the winning ways. They went undefeated in the pre-conference season and moved into the national rankings. But after a couple of surprising losses early in the PacWest season and in a tight 4-way battle for the conference crown with California Baptist, Dixie State, and fast-rising Academy of Art, the Antelopes suddenly came to Hawaii in need of victories. When they battled Honolulu powerhouse Hawai'i Pacific, they desperately needed a win to stay in contention. They also wanted revenge, as they had lost to HPU at home just a couple of weeks before. In a game that saw several lead changes, Grand Canyon turned to left-handed sharpshooter who had her eyes firmly fixated on the basket. Malin Smith had an incredible night, finishing with 27 points and 11 rebounds in a game that would go right down to the wire. HPU kept it very close and had their opportunities to pull off back-to-back wins over the defending champions from Phoenix. But in the end, it was Grand Canyon getting its revenge and its much-needed road victory with a 59-56 triumph.
They're a great team. They're well coached. They have tough girls. That's how I've always respected that about, you know, Coach Jeff now and the present coach. they just do get their players ready to play. I like the grittiness of the whole HPU players. They never disappoint you. As a fact, is playing 20 minutes. That's what I told the team at halftime tonight. They're not going to lay down. Doesn't matter if you're up 50 or if you're up 1, or they're going to play consistently, because that's the only way they know how. They grind things out. They're tough, physical, and they know how to compete.
It's a little bit of a revenge game. They're a good team. Number 14 and 15, they're great players, and I think we just played good team defense tonight, and we wanted it. So we came out. Both teams are great, but I think we wanted it a little more tonight.
By no means do we have anything easy coming our way. We're in a fight from top to bottom, and that's the part with, that's why tonight's so special, because every win is valuable and every win's special. And so with tonight, we got to take, thankfully we get 2 days off before we fly over to Hilo and play them. But yeah, the conference has gotten a lot better, and there's a lot of teams to reckon with, and by no means are we in any safe spot right now.
In the men's basketball nightcap, Grand Canyon, coached by former University of Arizona head coach Russ Pennell, went up against Darren Vorderbrugge's HPU Sea Warriors. The Antelopes feature a team that is built with speed. Grand Canyon also has an impressive inside game, led by the likes of Braylon Pickrell and others. Meanwhile, HPU has put together a number of impressive wins this season on their own, both at home and on the road. And we're hoping for a breakout game this time around. But on this night, the breakout game belonged to the Antelopes' Jerome Garrison, who lit up the net for a game-high 19 points, and Grand Canyon broke up a one-point game at halftime to win going away 73-56, launching a PacWest winning streak for the Antelopes that would go deep into February.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community.
I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship.
I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
Over the years, we've had a lot of great features on the PacWest magazine. Let's go inside the PacWest magazine vault.
The race for the PacWest Fall 2011 Championships began in late October with the PacWest Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships in Goodyear, Arizona. 10 schools sent runners into the Conference Women's Championships, which were run over a 5-kilometer course in the deserty confines of Estrella Mountain Regional Park, just outside of Phoenix. BYU Hawaii was the defending women's champ, having earned a spot in the Nationals a year before, but this year, California Baptist was tabbed as the team to beat, and the Lancer runners raced to near the front of the pack. Individually, Dixie State's Rachel Young took the lead and increased it throughout the meet. A veritable newcomer to the sport, Young never ran cross-country in high school, but blazed to the finish line at a time of 17 minutes, 52 seconds, finishing 26 seconds ahead of runner-up Lacey Kraut of BYU Hawaii. The top team in the standings turned out to be California Baptist University. The Lancers won the crown by finishing with 5 runners in the top 8. BYU Hawaii was second as a team, with host Grand Canyon third. The story of the men's race really dated back to several weeks earlier in San Francisco, where Academy of Arts Amos Maru set off on a mission to win another conference title, and he blazed to a personal record over the beautiful course in Golden Gate Park. At the time, the 2-time defending conference champion said his goal was to peak once again for the PacWest Championships.
Yeah, I've had like girls Baptist coming in and they look really good, so I'm working extra hard. I really want to keep my titles. You know, I've been winning like 2 years in a row, so I'm not gonna give this up. You know, I'm going for it.
So when it came time to run in the desert in the PacWest Championships at the end of October, Maru was more than ready. Over the 8-kilometer course, the senior from Kenya broadened his lead throughout, and he ended up winning the race by a comfortable margin with a championship time of 24 minutes 4 seconds. Grand Canyon's Kip Mutai was runner-up, with HPU's Danny Malley finishing third. In the men's team competition, California Baptist was the winner, with Academy of Art finishing as runner-up and defending champion BYU Hawaii third. Now the Lancers won not 1, not 2, but 3 conference titles on that late October Saturday, as they also wrapped up the PacWest women's soccer title that day. No wonder the California Baptist head coach Kristen St. Clair told us right before the beginning of the season how she was looking forward to facing off against new competition in the PacWest.
The PacWest is a great conference. It's one of the best in the NCAA Division II, and we're excited for the great competition and the opportunity to travel and play the great competition in a couple different states. But we're very excited for the quality of the schools that are in this conference as well. It's a good step up for us.
The Lancers won the conference title in a closely contested race to the finish. But since the school is going through the membership process, they would have to wait for a trip to the NCAA tournament. The battle for that spot was intense, as defending conference champion BYU Hawaii was also in the hunt for the title and a regional berth until the final kicks of the season. But the Seasiders were turned away after Grand Canyon came on strong and won the conference automatic bid tiebreaker by the slimmest of margins. It was Grand Canyon's first ever trip to the Women's Soccer Regional Championships. Here's the way the race ended, with California Baptist in first place, followed by Grand Canyon, BYU Hawaii, HPU, and Notre Dame de Namur in the first 5 spots in the standings. The second 5 was Dixie State in 6th place, followed by Hawaii Hilo, Academy of Art, Dominican, and Chaminade. The men's soccer title chase was every bit as heated and actually came down to a tie for the title. California Baptist claimed another crown, this one a co-championship, as they finished the regular season with an identical record as Hawai'i Pacific. The Lancers actually beat the Sea Warriors in their only matchup of the season, but ended the year with an identical final record. For HPU, a co-championship was a tremendous accomplishment, especially since they had finished as the league runner-up the last 3 years, and they celebrated their share of the title with a special chant after the season-ending win at BYU Hawaii.
You know, we've come to the last day with a chance to win it, but we've needed help every time on the last day, and this year it was finally the last game, and we controlled our own destiny, and the gods are smiling on us, the clouds opened up, and we did it finally. It feels great.
The fall season also saw great efforts from other teams too. Grand Canyon was in the mix for the title and a regional berth after another outstanding season. But unlike last year, when they went all the way to the regional finals, this time the Antelopes fell just a little bit short. In fact, this tie against BYU Hawaii in mid-season turned out to be the difference between a co-championship and a third-place finish. And there were many exciting finishes, like this one in the near darkness in Belmont, California, where Academy of Art won a thrilling overtime affair over arch-rival Notre Dame de Namur. The Urban Knights celebrated almost like they had won the World Cup title, showing just how much victories mean in the PacWest. Here's how the men's soccer race finished, with HPU and California Baptist tied for the title, Grand Canyon a close third, then Notre Dame de Namur and Dixie State. The second 5 was BYU Hawaii, followed by Academy of Art, Dominican, Hawaii Hilo, and Chaminade. In the PacWest women's volleyball season, the word unprecedented has to be used. Unprecedented because the league would send 3 teams to the NCAA tournament for the first time in recent history, and for a while had an unprecedented 4 teams in the West Regional rankings. One of those teams was Hawai'i Pacific, who handed eventual champion BYU Hawaii their only loss of the conference season in the opening match of the PacWest play.
If you have to be at the practices, you have to see how hard we work. Like every day, every single girl comes into the gym. We've had meetings and said, everybody has to be here. Our mindset has to be here, and we all agreed. Like if we're not here, then don't come to practice. Everybody comes in, come to the games, come to practices. We put it all out. Like that's my team, and I'm so excited that we can all be part of it. And everybody just works together, and that's what makes a win, basically.
After that match, BYU Hawaii never lost another match as they went unscathed through the rest of a very impressive PacWest season. The Seasiders won 15 consecutive matches and won the PacWest Conference title with an impressive mark of 15-1. Second place went to Grand Canyon University, who finished very strong. In fact, the Antelopes went on a record run in the late going and claimed a berth in the NCAA Regionals for the first time ever. The third team to land a spot at the NCAA tournament was Hawaii Hilo. The Lady Vulcans finished in a tie for third and earned a trip to the regionals in San Bernardino. Other sterling efforts were turned in this year by the newcomers, California Baptist, as the Lancers tied UH Hilo for third place in the standings. Ryan McGuire, who had previously been named the NAIA Coach of the Year, noted just how strong the PacWest and the NCAA Division II was.
It's fun with the different universities because I got to get to the other coaches. You know, I think being in the former conference as long as I did, I knew when they were calling timeouts. I knew what they did. I knew what each team's defense was versus different hitters and different things. So, you know, I think now I've got to discover new trends to help my team be a little bit better too.
In an unprecedented year for winning teams, Dixie State also finished the year with a winning record, and the PacWest had 6 teams with overall winning marks. The top 5 in the standings were conference champ BYU Hawaii, followed by runner-up Grand Canyon, a third-place tie between California Baptist and UH Hilo, and HPU finishing 5th. Dixie State headed up the next 5, followed by Academy of Art, Notre Dame de Namur, Dominican, and Chaminade. Overall, it was a great fall sports season for the PacWest.
Thanks for joining us on another edition of PacWest Magazine. Check us out on the web. We're at thepacwest.com. That's thepacwest.com. That's easy to remember. You can also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and even check out these videos on our YouTube channel. For Bob Hogue, the Commissioner, and Malia Smith, I'm Wayne Coito, saying see you next time on PacWest Magazine.